I went from being cut at my last university to All-American. What's up, guys? My name is Zach. I'm a track athlete at the University of Tampa. I run the 800 meters. And in this video, I'm going to tell my story on how I went from being cut to All-American, getting 8th place at NCAAs. And yeah, so my track career starts at Olympia, Washington. I joined the track team as a freshman in high school, and I had a lot of early success. I just kind of showed up to practice and, ran 159 as a 14-year-old. It was pretty good at the time. In 2019, that was like top 5 in the country, if I'm not wrong, before all the track inflation stuff. And I fell in love with the sport. I fell in love with the people I met through the sport. It was just a really happy period, that 2019 season. And then I actually moved high schools. My dad's in the military, so we stationed down in Austin, Texas, my sophomore year in high school. And the track program in Austin was more like a football program. It was an extension of the football program, is what it was called. And it was a lot less it was more of like a social event than a track practice. Let's just say that. And I was young, naive. I would just listen to what I was told to do. And I went 2 years without PRing essentially. And that third year, it was a wake-up call. I thought enough was enough. My senior year in high school, I stopped playing football. I ran cross country as an 800 runner. That's crazy, but I made it happen. I was okay at it. Ran 16:40. I dropped 3 seconds my senior year. Ended up running 156 in the 800. I qualified for regionals, and I ended up waking up for regionals with COVID. Raced anyways. I wasn't going to say that at the time because of how controversial that was. But I raced with COVID, probably a super spreader event, and obviously didn't run to the standard I was hoping for, and that was the end of my high school, season and career at that point. Now we get to college, and in college, I enrolled in the University of Texas State University, and I tried out for their cross country team. I had a really good summer, and I came in hot. I was fit. I was ready to go. Ended up running pretty well in the beginning, and this is where things kind of took a turn for the worse, and this was probably where everything changed. And now hindsight, I contracted mono. And if you've had mono, it knocks you on your ass for like 6 months. Or it knocked me on my ass for 6 months. And it was not really a sick feeling. It was more so of I didn't have energy anymore to do anything. And my symptoms were I was running slower and slower and slower. And in between classes, I would need to stop and like sit on a bench for like 10 minutes to rest because I was gassed from walking up the stairs or to classes. And I didn't have energy doing the activities I otherwise like to do. I didn't have energy to, really have a life. And this was very difficult. It was hard on me. It was hard on the people around me. And eventually, I obviously couldn't train. I couldn't compete. I wasn't really affiliated with the group or the team. And we had a coaching change. Our distance coach ended up getting fired. And after that, eventually, they just removed me from the roster. While I was unable to really defend myself or train or anything like that. And that that probably started as corny as it sounds, like probably the darkest period of my life to this day. That removal from the team was really hard on me, and I was really upset about it. I walked into the athletic director's office. I ambushed him. I contested it. I just told him, I know I'm good enough. I know that I can reach a certain level that you otherwise couldn't find from these recruits that you're claiming are better than me. I would say things like that. I tried to be as, from their perspective, it makes sense, right? I wasn't that good coming out of high school. I've never proven anything to the point that I can be where I'm at right now. And the only person, literally the only person in my life that knew that I would be where I'm at today is me. There was nobody else that thought that I could make it this far. And I believed that even when I had mono, even when I was running terrible, even when everyone gave me a reason to not believe in that. And that's probably the reason why I'm even able to tell this story. But I went into that athletic director's office. It didn't go well at all. It went terribly. And I remember leaving that office, having a moment like outside of the office, and then going home, and I don't know, I felt so alone at that time. I lost all my friends from the team. I felt like I felt like it was me against the world, and it really was, because even the people that were close to me at the time didn't really support me through that in the way that I needed. But it was difficult. So basically, they cut me from the team without a chance to come back, and I was already enrolled in classes the next year. I was going to be at Texas State the next year, no matter what. You realize at times where everything is going wrong, where there's nothing going right in your life, that those people that you thought were in your corner really weren't in your corner. You realize from a young age that a lot of people only respond to how you make them feel, and not having your interest in mind. It's more about their interests based off of how you're acting. And if you're a kid with mono and you don't have the energy to do anything, and you're just sitting on your ass, and you're essentially a loser in every aspect, which I was, people aren't going to like you anymore. And that's the reality I hit, and literally everyone pretty much turned against me. And I took my time. I was sad for a while, and I eventually got back up like I always do, and put my head down and got back to work. And did it work out? I joined a club team in Austin, Texas, and this club team is, to this day, really close to everyone there. I have my best friends to this day I met through the club team. A lot of them have very similar stories to mine. It was called Born to Run in Austin, Texas. And at the time, this team was kind of like a post-collegiate team, semi-pro, this weird like in between. The coach, Paul Carrozza, his son was trying to qualify for the Olympics in 24. And I jumped on that train at the perfect time. And I had this really elite group of kids that just elevated my game to an extreme level. And this is where things changed completely for me. I trained my butt off. I ran so hard every day. I got a job. I worked part-time. I was going to full-time classes. I was commuting from home, from Texas State, from Austin, Texas, driving 30 minutes to classes. This was an insane year for me because of how busy I was and how I changed as a person. That is not excluding running. So my game elevated to my group that I was training with, and ended up running 152. Went to Texas State's home meet and beat everyone. Beat everyone at Texas State. Beat everyone at every school that showed up. Really shocked everyone. They were all talking about me. The coach, head coach at the time, like, he was talking to my club coach. He was asking like if I could come back the next year, things like that. And I essentially just told him I appreciate the offer, but I need to leave. I need to leave. And I left. I transferred schools. I transferred to the University of Tampa, where I currently major in pools and minor in beaches. And I, I'm having a blast there. I ran for the track team in 25, and it was more of a transition year. I was living on my own for the first time, doing a lot of things by myself. Moved to an entirely different state across the country, didn't know anyone, and I started over. Figured a lot of things out the first year. The second year is when I took off again, and we had an assistant coach my second year, Coach Garrett. He's a Villanova alumni and really smart guy, really organized. We worked really well together. He unfortunately left now, but this year he's a big reason to my success this spring. I already have like a fire in me, and I have an understanding of the sport, and I want to train hard. I want to work hard. I do work hard, and he was more scientific, which I've had in the past, I've dealt with in the past, but it was a good combination. Our personalities really meshed well, in a sense that I could tell him what I wanted and he could change things, and I could hear what he wants, and I could like change my perspective on things. I never liked a coaching dynamic where I was like, always sucking up to the coach, or listening to everything he has to say. I mean, I do listen to everything they have to say, but I want to be able to collaborate. I feel like I know enough to the point where I can have more freedom than I've gotten in the past. And Garrett gave me that freedom, and it showed off. I mean, I popped off this year and won 3 conference titles in the 800, 1500, and 5K. Only person to do that. Scored 30 points. Helped my team win conference for the first time in 16 years. Qualified for nationals. 8th in the nation. 148. And yeah, it's been a crazy ride to get here, but we got here, and that's what happened. And if there's one thing I would want you guys to take away from this video, one thing that helped me the most, like I said again, everything, all the evidence pointed towards, and everyone told me that I needed to wrap it up. There's no way that there was no evidence pointing towards that I could make this happen, especially during that. I had every reason to quit. But I always felt in my gut that this is what would happen. And my message is really, if you know, you know. If everything's going terrible for you, if you lost again and again and again, but you still feel in your gut, you still feel, even though the world points at that it's not going to happen, that you are better than this and you can make this happen, then don't give up. That is there for a reason. And I believe this 100%. I believe that all my thoughts, everything that I've done, has been implanted in me for a reason. And I would never give up on something that I believe in. And that's my message. You cannot give up on the things that you believe in, because you believe in them for a reason. And if you just see it out, if you just ride it out, put your head down and just keep working, if you want it as bad as I did, you will get it. I promise you, you will get it. If you want it so bad that if you close your eyes and be like, oh, what's it like if I don't accomplish this thing? And you would rather almost die than to not get it. You are going to get it. Don't stop. Keep working. That's it. Thank you.